Welcome, welcome. You have now entered the cosmic radio receptors of KCIW 100.7 FM, located just a few miles north of the California border in lovely coastal Brookings, Oregon. Thank you for tuning into this week's interesting program. I'm Dr. Gigi, and my co-host is, as always, Jacques Kepner. How are you today, Jacques?
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Doc and Jacques Radio Variety Show. Special thanks to today's sound engineer and all-around happy and industrious man, Michael Gorse, who is filling in for Tom Bozak and Ray Simon, but he really doesn't need to fill in because he is a sound engineer extraordinaire and a documentary guy. He does so many things. We are very, very blessed and very happy to have him on the KCIW team. Thanks, Michael. You're hearing this live syndicated show on KCIW in Brookings, Oregon. That said, the same syndicated show will be rebroadcast in exactly 1 week from now, each and every Wednesday at 8 a.m., but it's better than 7, better than 6, on our coastal southern friends, KZZH 96.7 FM in the Eureka Humboldt region, and hello to all of our listeners there. And then after that, next Wednesday, after that, a few hours later at my old alma mater, KFUG 101.1 FM in coastal Crescent City, plays at 1 o'clock. So there you can hear the Doc and Jacques. We really appreciate everybody out there that's listening. And I think Steve Portzer, our friend, our blacksmith friend in Crescent City, may be listening. We'll see. Hello to you, Steve. Thanks for listening. So all those areas we are covered and syndicating and growing all the time, we have your coasts covered. I've said S, coasts. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay, it's that time when good medicine and health tips are colorfully, thank you, colorfully presented by my German-American practicing medical doctor,
Oh my gosh.
medical doctor, who is also actually a renowned research scientist who holds you still hold 4 DNA technology patents in your name. You were a university professor, and just up to recently, you were a professor. You're also an artist, which I wanted to bring it to everybody. She's an incredible artist. She makes me vests and shirts and caps. Oh, she's fantastic. She is also a newspaper columnist with your
off the charts.
Okay. And last but not least, she's a syndicated broadcaster and so much more. And did I mention her incredibly emotional work as our region's hospice physician? Oh, yes, we got to say that. Dr. Gigi, what medical marvels do you have for us today on this week's health segment of MDGG?
Well, very kind introduction. Thank you.
You're looking really good, too. I like it. They're pretty. Wow.
Whoa, boy.
Today, we will discuss yet another one of your James Kepner's suggestions when you ask, what the heck is in the human throat and what is it all about?
Well, James is your old boyfriend. I'm Jacques.
Jacques.
Okay. Well, the throat, doctor, is humanity's great hallway, is it not? It swallows food, it laughs, and it speaks poetry.
It does. Thank you. So we can move on.
Where would we be without it? We would probably be mute and malnourished and mourning the loss of karaoke.
Yeah. All right. So respect the throat.
Okay, we do.
That slim, squishy corridor between our brain and belly, the unsung hero of existence.
Oh, noble throat, the slender bridge of life's symphony. Through you... What were we going to say? Through you glide words and laughter and soup alike. Oh, our guest is gagging on my words. You hum our dreams, you gulp pride, and you oftentimes choke on the truth. Without you, silence would rule, doctor. No sound, no snacks, no sweet confessions.
Well said, my talkative teammate.
The throat. Oh, your turn.
All right, so the throat, also called the pharynx.
Pharynx, like the pharaoh?
Pharynx, not the pharynx.
Shoot,
the pharynx
wrong again.
Is a crowded piece of real estate in our body, yet most of us only notice it when we say, I have a sore throat.
Yeah, that's true.
Behind every time we swallow, bite, or speak, as you so poetically said, the short stretch of anatomy is running a complex and finely timed operation. The throat, or pharynx, is a vital crossroads where breathing, eating, speaking, and fighting infections all come together.
Do you know why cannibals don't swallow clowns?
Why?
Because they taste funny.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Let's go back to my pharynx. Let's divide the busy corridor into several regions, each with its own role. So at the top lies the nasopharynx.
Whoa.
So the nasal throat.
Yeah.
Tucked behind the nose, where air first enters its way toward the lungs.
Okay.
Just below is the oropharynx, like the mouth throat.
Nasopharynx.
Nasopharynx.
What does oro mean?
Mouth.
Oh, oral, like oral. Duh.
Yeah.
Oro, and then nasopharynx.
First the nasal, then nasal throat, then the mouth throat. And that's when we say to the patient, say, ah.
Oh, open your mouth and say.
Yeah, open the mouth and say, ah. And so that's when the tongue gets depressed. And we see the oropharynx. That's what we see then behind there. And
I've got a tongue depressor if you want to try it on me.
And that's why, the little dingly, the uvula, we see there too.
Okay, you open your mouth and I'd say, I'd say, ah, ha. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Didn't get that. All right. So in the oropharynx, air, food, and liquids all pass through the same space. So now we have to have the daring feat of biological traffic control.
Wow, how cool is that?
So beneath that, we have the hypopharynx, or the lower throat.
Hypo is
means
low,
below.
hyper is above.
Hyper above, hypo below.
Okay.
That's what forms the final stretch before this shared pathway splits. The air turns toward the windpipe and the lungs, and the food and drink heading for the food tube and stomach.
Wow. So it's taking everything in from air, milkshakes.
So we don't want to get food in our airway, right? So guarding that airway is the larynx, or we call it the voice box. It's larynx, not larynx, by the way. It's larynx.
I had a friend named Larynx. Larynx. Well, it's close enough.
So we just say the voice box.
Okay, the voice box.
So this is a small cartilage-framed structure that has double duty.
Well, it must.
It houses the vocal cords. We talked about the vocal cords twice that vibrate to make our voice, exactly. And it forms the upper gateway off the windpipe.
We better get going. Our guest over here is... He's yawning over here. Okay, last week I got a few tests done, and today I got back the results.
Yeah?
Yep. One was a COVID test, and it's really weird, but right beside that COVID test, it just had a number 50 next to it, right? That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I also got my IQ results, test results back. Yeah, it says positive next to it. It's weird. All right.
That's funny.
That's not bad, right? Okay. Our guest didn't laugh. Yeah.
Jinx.
We are right on time. Great. Okay. What else?
All right. Sitting above the larynx sits something called the epiglottis. The glottis is actually a little hole, and the epiglottis is something that closes on the hole, and that's called the epiglottis. You can think of it as kind of like the beer stein, the little flexible thing that you can open the lid for. That's how I would see it. That's the flexible flap that snaps down over the larynx every time we swallow. Otherwise, we would swallow food
they'll get into
the lungs. Yeah. So with each bite of a sandwich or a sip of beer, the epiglottis quietly prevents disaster, steering food away from the lungs and into the food pipe, which is the esophagus.
And of course you'd bring a beer because you're German. And of course a stein, I haven't seen them. In Germany we saw those, right? The steins that had the little tin cap, or it's made of cheap metal.
Tin, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, speaking of beer, a skeleton, folks, walked into a bar, and he went up to the bartender and he said, "Give me a beer and give me a mop."
And he had an Irish accent.
Well, I don't know. Okay, it's my last joke for a while.
So we keep going. On either side of the oropharynx, remember what we see when we say
Oro is oral. The mouth.
Mouth, throat stands, or on each side are the tonsils. And we all know who have had children who have endured strep throat or tonsillectomies or tonsillitis. Those are the things that get thick and tender, and that's part of our sore throats.
Okay.
So these small lumps, the tonsils, are part of the immune tissue.
They hang down, I thought. No,
they're on the side. Now,
what's the part that hangs it down? Those two weird things.
The adenoids, they're a little higher up. Usually we don't see them. Yeah.
Oh,
so the tonsils that you see are on the side. And so the adenoids are further up.
Can you see them from the top? I mean, looking down someone's voice box or...
Yeah, no, you see, the adenoids are really hardly ever visible.
But you can put a mirror in there, right?
Yes,
and then doctors looking to see a mirror down.
Yeah, not the normal doctors, but some maybe.
Have you?
The ENTs, no.
Oh, okay.
So what they do is they sample all of them, the adenoids and the tonsils. They sample the incoming germs from the air and say, "Oop, this is a bad guy," or "This is a good guy," and we better make antibodies against it. And so they sound the alarm. And our immune system starts.
Okay, got it.
So all those, the tonsils, the immune parts, they can become infected and painfully swollen, but they are our frontline defensive role, especially in childhood. However, so this is interesting. If I had strep throat one time that I know of, and I took a picture on my little phone here, and it looked just horrid because the tonsils were very Hugo, red and white dots on it. That is the hallmark of strep throat.
Did you know that dolphins have tonsils too? I found that very interesting.
They do?
I haven't researched it yet, but I'm sure they do. Because scientists have discovered that dolphins are so smart. They are indeed. They can quickly teach humans to stand on the edge of a pool and feed them fish. They could train us. It's no problem. Okay, what next?
Just tiny little more because we're still having more. We have, once we swallow, we divide the food from the air. We go down the esophagus, which is the air goes in the front of the throat, basically,
gotcha.
And the food goes in the back. So that's the esophagus. That's all I wanted to say, that we have two lines going down in the neck. The front is the air, the back is the food.
Cool. That was excellent, wonderful about the throat. You don't think about it next week. What should we talk about? I mean, we haven't done an eyeball yet, have we?
No.
Okay, maybe we'll have to do that. Talk about the eyes.
Yep.
Okay, well, thank you for that, Doc. Have you been watching any of the Olympics? John, have you watched any Olympics? Have you shaken?
No, we don't have TV. So.
We watched a little bit the other day, right? We don't have TV either, but we
Wait, where did we watch it?
Oh, that was that other girl. Damn it. Oh, shoot.
All right.
Wait a minute. Okay, thank you. I recently entered speaking of the Olympics, I recently entered the World Kleptomaniac Championship. I did, and I took the gold, silver, and the bronze. Okay. All right. Let's see. Prologue. Good afternoon, friends, and welcome back. We haven't been anywhere to this edition of the Doc and Jacques radio show on KCIW, KZZH, and KFUG, coming to you from this wild stretch of coastal magic along the northern coast of California and southern coast of Oregon. Today's guest has been on this show multiple times and has become a friend of ours because he is just a nice guy. He really is. When we're together, when we've been out to dinner, we've been at a little more informal places, he laughs like hell at my jokes. He does.
When nobody else is listening.
Keeps slapping his knee.
Your wife's paying me.
Slapping his knee, guffling. Hey, what a great joke, Jack. Toasting. Oh, my God. All right. But our guest also holds a very interesting position in a 501c3 nonprofit organization. It's a nonprofit that serves our community in more ways than one, in a different way, because it represents it's a monument. It's a monument that we have right off our shores, both Brookings and Crescent City and beyond. You see this monument. Well, I'll just let him take over. But John Zimmerman is the president of this monument thing that you're going to find out more. You're going to hear directly from his throat, and what he represents. Hint, It's a tall building, 7 miles out to sea that you can see on a clear, happy day. Do we know what that might be? All right, that's enough for me.
Okay,
Today's
well-
show is a special treat. Welcome, John Zimmerman.
John Zimmerman, thank
Thank
you
you.
for coming back to our show, even though you have to laugh at his jokes.
Darn right.
You haven't gotten a bill yet.
John Zimmerman, give us the skinny. Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Portland, Oregon in 1957. So I'm an old fossil,
All right.
and I was raised there.
Okay. What brought you here then?
Well, after I graduated from Oregon State, I moved to California for 35 years, lived in Sonoma County as a landscape contractor, and then I retired and wanted to move back to Oregon, so I moved to Brookings. I didn't want to go back to a big city.
Right on.
That's where I ended
Very
up.
nice.
You're a beaver? Former beaver?
I am.
All right.
Wow. Okay. So now Jacques here has been talking around the hot dough. What do you call it?
Hot clue. I haven't given any clues. But
Yeah,
just
right.
this is
Okay, so
monument.
John, it's up to you. What is your title and position?
I'm the president of the St. George Reef Lighthouse Preservation Society,
Whoa, that's a mouthful.
and we are trying to restore the lighthouse off the coast of Crescent City. It's 6.5 miles across the water from Point St. George.
Wow. And
Crescent
St.
City.
George Point is the one that's kind of down near the Crescent City airport, right?
Right, exactly.
Out beyond that. And yet, our friend Ray, when we've been over at his house, he sits right on a cliff up here north of town
Oh, he's
in Brookings.
Yeah.
And he has a telescope. We could see it perfectly out there. We have one of the best pictures taken from that distance. And I got to say, that's more like 13 or 14 miles.
Oh, close to 20.
Oh, really?
Wow, yeah, it looks
Whoa.
really good.
Sweet.
You know, my nephew was here the other month with his wife, and we went to the Point of St. George, and it was so clear. It was so beautiful, and it was night almost, but the sun was going down. We could see St. George Reef Lighthouse wonderfully, and we were showing it off. Oh, look. And they said, yeah, we were wondering what that is. What is that? I mean, if you don't know.
Right.
And yeah,
Unless
right?
you know where to look and kind of
It was the weirdest thing because it's so iconic, right? But I mean, if you didn't,
You
It'd
remember
be
the
a
first time you saw it? I mean, about 4 or 5 years ago when you moved here. I remember saw it
oh,
in
it was
Brookings.
amazing. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, it was just out
What is
there.
that? All right.
So, John, are you a volunteer?
Yes.
You're a presidential volunteer?
Yeah, we're all volunteers. Yeah, the whole organization, everybody on the board and other people, we all volunteer at a time.
How many people are on the board?
There's 11. Well, there's one that just stepped down, but we normally have had 11.
Well, I think boards are incredibly important, and the bigger the board, the better. That's what I think. I think really to get more voices, get more people. Small.
So,
Or
how you
like-
were a landscape person? What got you interested in lighthouses?
Well, when I was a kid, we used to go down to Cannon Beach, Oregon, which is about 95 miles northwest of Portland. And my cousin had a cottage down there, a couple cottages, and we used to rent one of them every spring vacation. And just on the northwest corner of her property, you could see Tillamook Rock Lighthouse offshore. And ironic that the engineer that built St. George Reef Lighthouse, he had just finished building Tillamook Rock, and then he started St. George.
Tillamook Rock, is it out in the water? Or
Yes, it's a mile and a half
a
offshore.
mile and a half.
Yeah.
Wow.
Roughly the same height as St. George, a little bit shorter, but it's, I think, 133 feet, and St. George is 146.
And so it's like similar plans of building it?
No, St. George, you see a low rock with a large caisson, which the tower is built upon that, whereas Tillamook Rock had a taller rock, but the building is built, the building itself is considerably shorter than the tower at St. George, probably about 14, 15 feet, and it goes more horizontal. But they both, if you compare the height of where the light is or was, They're roughly the same height, about 12-foot difference.
Very interesting. That's the one we couldn't see. Remember, we drove around Tillamook that one time. We went up to Florence on the way there, and we looked and just couldn't find it. Is there a point where you could just drive out, everybody could see it?
Well, you go up to Ecola State Park north of Cannon Beach, and you can see Ecola State Park.
Oh, Ecola.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking
Tillamook Rock.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about Cape Mears, probably.
Right down.
Yeah, way down here. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Got
We
you
did
now.
drive down.
Hey, I did some research and found that the United States has the most lighthouses of any country. Sources consistently identified the U.S. with about 700 active or standing lighthouses today, outpacing others globally. I guess globally there's, I think it's 17 or 18,000 lighthouses, so they play a big part. I say active because the U.S. has built 1,500 lighthouses altogether, peaking around 1910 when it peaked out then. At that time, there were 850 operating lighthouses. That's amazing. Now, that said, I want you, before you give the answer, I do want to ask you a question. Please tell all the audience which of all the 50 states has the most lighthouses. Is it Maine? Is it Washington? Is it California, North Carolina, or Florida? What is it? One of those five.
Michigan.
Michigan? You mean the Great Lakes has more?
Michigan has the whole coastline.
Michigan is not even on here.
Yeah, Michigan is on.
Darn it. I messed up.
Lake Michigan and Lake Huron go on both sides of the state of Michigan, and they have I believe, well, it depends on who you ask, but I've read 118. I've read also 140.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe one trip, one summer, we should go back there and count them.
Yeah, I've never seen a lighthouse from Michigan.
Lake Michigan is cool. It's really a whole world out
But there's Lake Huron, too. It's on both sides of the state. So, I mean, there's a lot of coastline. Now, as far as the coastal lighthouses, Maine has the most.
A coastal lighthouse in Maine has it.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you were going to say Oklahoma.
I know before you
I
said.
pulled that one last time.
Yeah, I know.
I think I said Kansas or Nebraska.
Yeah, I know you did.
Okay.
Why was the lighthouse built and when? Hours, that is, the St. George Reef?
St. George was built, they had conceived about the idea right after the sinking of the brother Jonathan in 1865. But as everybody knows, there was a civil war that had just concluded, and the United States Treasury was pretty broke. So they didn't build the lighthouse until they started in 1882. The fellow by the name of Alexander Ballantyne started the construction of the lighthouse, or the soundings around the rock and so forth, in 1882 after he'd finished Tillamook Rock Lighthouse in the state of Oregon. And the construction of the lighthouse occupied a period of 10 years, from 1882 to 1892, when they finally got the lens from France. In those days, had to go around Cape Horn to get the lens delivered from France.
Dang.
The building was essentially finished in 1891. It did not take that amount of time between 1882 and 1891 to finish the building, but Congress would appropriate less monies one year, more monies other years. One year they didn't appropriate any at all. You had a short season to work out there because of the weather, but it ended up being the most expensive lighthouse in the United States ever built. I've actually read in places that it was the most expensive lighthouse in the world that was ever built. I'm not so sure that's true, because there are a lot of wave-washed lighthouses out on rocks in France and in Scotland, England, Ireland, that are St. George's equal construction-wise, that were built around the same time or earlier, and it's hard to figure out how much they cost, pounds or francs compared to dollars in the years they were built and so forth.
Yeah.
But there are some of them that were definitely St. George's equal as far as difficulty. In this country, it is without a doubt the most difficult structure that was ever built, a lighthouse built in the country.
In addition to being out there, it's 8 whatever miles, 6.5 to.
Yeah.
It's not like it's rippling tiny waves to get down there. You have to take the ships. They cannot write to build it, and they can sometimes not land, or they cannot.
Well, they
they
never could land any ship near the rock. What they did is once they got people or workmen on there, they created a cable trolley system and attached to the mast of a ship that was anchored about 400 feet away. And they used a conveyance between the ship's mast and the lighthouse, running workmen back and forth as they were constructing the lighthouse, blasting rock off, and making a surface in which to build the lighthouse and so.
In like a zip line that they would travel on?
Basically, and it holds 6 people at a time.
And it was made of rope, though. But...
There was, I think, cable.
Oh, it was a cable.
Yeah. But it was, I think they lost only one life in the construction of the lighthouse. They lost several more later over the course of its service. But it was a dangerous place to work. And Ballantyne, who was the engineer, learned a lot of lessons from working at Tillamook Rock because they had the same problem. They had to run a conveyance back and forth. They also had people camping on the rock because at the time it was. They started construction of it. It was over 120 feet high. They blasted it down to 89 feet, but they had major storms out there where they were marooned out there, and the waves were going over the top of the rock, and almost lost all the construction workers because of the bad weather, and the ship couldn't get anywhere near it.
I would love to be out there with that kind of a storm tied to a big reef. Now, what is it built on? I've heard, what is a bizarre, like dragon something? Is it?
They call it the Dragon Rocks.
Dragon Rocks.
I think was it George Vancouver named the lighthouse, named the reef. But each of the major rocks has a name now. St. George Reef Lighthouse was built on Northwest Seal Rock, and that is at the very bitter end of St. George's Reef, or if you want to call them the Dragon Rocks, same difference. They wanted to build it at the furthest out because otherwise you could build the lighthouse inland at another rock and they could still hit the
so it is rocks. The furthest out. I was wondering because you don't see a lot of rocks. You see some left and right, but I guess you see more when it's the low tide.
Yes, and there's several of them that are not seen, that are below the surface, but enough to tear the hull out of a ship. That's what happened to Brother Jonathan. Yeah. It hit an uncharted rock. Along the same trail. I think it's now called Jonathan Rock.
Oh,
yeah.
Whoa.
So how tall is it again? You said
146.
146.
Wait, the caisson that it's built on is
70.
70.
And then the tower's another 74 feet or 76 feet.
Wow. Yeah. Now,
So the rock was 98 feet, and so now you took 30 feet off?
No, that's Tillamook Rock. Tillamook Rock went from 120 down to 89 feet.
But ours was
54 feet.
Okay.
And they blasted down, and it's roughly 17 feet, and in order to create a surface that they could build on.
Right.
Yeah.
Was it kind of like steep that they couldn't? So they have now. They did that not because it was easier, because they had a flatter. So they have flat surface.
And it's an inverted pyramid. The way the thing's built. I mean, they actually locked in the caisson built around. The stone that they actually locked the stones into the rock themselves.
So how many stones?
About 1,400.
1,400 stone blocks.
1,400 massive
granite blocks.
How big is the biggest block?
17 tons.
Oh my God! It was all conveyed by the cable or whatever.
Cable?
Yeah, well, they had steam equipment out there that would pull the stones off the barges or whatever that they hauled the stones out. Most of them were, I think, in the 2.5 ton size. But I don't have a breakdown on how many stones of each weight. But the largest was 17, and the smallest was 2.5 tons.
No, so the 17 that's one ship, right? I mean, or is it one rock that fits on one ship?
Right.
Jeez, wow.
Oh, wow.
And they were dry fitted on shore. They're all numbered and so forth, so they lock together like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Folks, time flies when we're having fun. It's already that mid-break time here on the Doc and Jacques Live Radio Show, proudly broadcasting from the KCIW 100.7 FM studios in lovely coastal Brookings, Oregon. The list of major sponsors for our community radio stations are Advanced Airlines, flying in and out of nearby Crescent City to Oakland 7 days a week. Michelle Bupert, hello, Michelle, and our own vibrant local Curry County Chamber of Commerce. Nick and Lisa Real, hello to you, and the PPA, or the Partnership for the Performing Arts. I heard Nick was on Curry Cafe the other day.
Oh, cool.
There's a new major supporter of community radio, which we have to record their spot, and that is Coastal Health and Hospice, serving Northern California and Southern Oregon. And
Coastal Home Health and
Yes, there you go. This is an exemplary, emotional, and helpful nonprofit organization that grows to help us as we grow older and transition from one house to another. So welcome aboard, Coastal Health and Hospice Services.
Home Health.
Okay, so Home Health Services.
Coastal Home Health and Hospice.
Oh, okay, so that's worse than St. George Lighthouse
Reef
Preservation Society. And lastly, my dear co-host, Dr. Gigi Reed, and yours truly, Jacques Kepner, on behalf of KCIW, thanks to all of you. Now, let me get up here and ask a real quick. Again, it cost back in the day over $800,000.
752, I think, is what it was.
Wow. And that's a huge amount of money in comparison to today. That's multi-millions.
21 or 30 million, something like that. I checked at one point in converting the dollars, but it was over 20 million.
And so we see enough rocks just visually as we walk along the shore. We often do in Crescent City and parts of Brookings. There's so many rocks out there, and how this could have shipwrecked. I mean, just tore. We understand how it could happen. And with the tides going higher, that would be really
Lousy weather. I mean,
Lousy.
they had fog. They had what they called, I'm trying to think of the word they used it would create a mist where you couldn't see anything, from the waves. So this is during a storm.
Yeah.
And it was like a
a
whiteout.
whiteout, yeah.
Wow.
And the ship was overloaded, and a lot of the sidewheel steamers in that area were underpowered. So here you got it overloaded, bad weather.
Full of people.
And full of people
No
and
radar.
supplies. And they're trying to get back to Crescent City because the weather was so bad. And
But the guy
take
said,
it.
go ahead. Go. One of the guys transporting, did they have gold on it or something?
yes, they had gold on it, a lot of gold, which they have found in the meantime, some of it. And yeah, it was a lot of gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why was it decommissioned and when?
It was the last lighthouse on the West Coast that was manned by people, wasn't automated, and it was decommissioned in 1975. They did not attempt to automate it. They decided to put a large ocean buoy out there to mark the reef. The reason why they decommissioned was a couple of reasons. One was most of the shipping has gone westward a great deal, so they don't hug the coast like they used to.
Yeah, they go farther out to sea, right?
Yeah, much further. GPS, of course, although in
You're good. You're good.
yeah, GPS at that time wasn't created yet, but they were, like I said, they were 6 miles further west about with the shipping lanes, and the lighthouse was the most expensive on the West Coast to maintain. I mean, it was a 4-keeper light. They had 3 on and 1 off.
Wow.
Well, Crescent City itself has a lighthouse, which probably is only there for beauty
Battery-
parts,
battery-
battery point.
It's a private aided navigation. They actually moved the light on the end of the breakwater, and so that's when they quit. That was in the 60s that they decommissioned that light, and then they created a private aided navigation later.
Oh, that's a great. We have Crescent City boasts 2 lighthouses. Wasn't there one?
yeah, that
Because we created a private aided navigation out at St. George as well. We got a light out there too, which we're going to fix.
Really?
Modern
How
stuff,
cool is
yeah.
that? All right.
nice. Okay,
We are-
tell us about the future.
Yeah, well,
right,
wait a
of
minute.
our-
When was the St. George Reef Lighthouse Preservation Society founded and by whom?
1986 by Guy Towers, and he was the one that was responsible to save the lighthouse. And it took him about 10 years to go through all the bureaucratic, the paperwork and so forth. 1996 was the first flight out, and then ever since we've been working on getting it restored and getting it available for tours, which, of course, the 2 of you are going to be going out there pretty soon and seeing the lighthouse. That'll be end of March, end of February, early March, yeah.
Wow.
So,
now, when you said the flight out there, do they land small planes out there?
Small helicopters.
Oh, darn it.
Yeah.
Not a runway.
A plane might land once. If it hits the building, it'll never take
Oh,
off.
I
again.
see.
Yeah.
I see. What you're saying.
Yeah.
Now, I got to say one other thing before your question's coming up, but it's 146 feet tall.
Right.
And the Fresnel lens is from France, made
Right.
right. And at one point, waves went over the top of the lighthouse and
More than once.
and broke through the glass,
Yes.
flooded the stairs of spiraling stairs.
Yeah, water went down like a waterfall, shaking the building all the way down the engine room. Yep.
Oh my goodness, what Mother Nature
And
is.
people were on there, right?
I interviewed the keeper that was out there when it happened.
Did he have
1958
PTSD?
was it?
1952. Yeah.
Oh, my.
He's now 93.
My God, can you imagine
That's
a
pretty
wave?
cool.
That was tsunami, right? It's like a tsunami.
So
But
you,
they thought they bought the farm. He was sure the thing was going to go over.
Wow.
Yeah, PTSD,
Too
I'm
much.
telling you.
PTSD.
So you're busy trying to preserve the monument,
Yes.
right? So how much, in a perfect world, how much money will it cost to restore this?
We're looking at the work that we've got slated to go at this point is about $10 million. I doubled it because there's always things you're not going to find. You know, the stonework is in good shape on the outside. May need some repointing, but generally it's in pretty good shape. At least this is what the consultant told us. The interior, we have, it's lined with brick in the stairwell and so forth. A lot of it's lead-based paint. We're going to have to, be very careful about removing that.
Wow.
The metalwork is what's wasting away on the lighthouse, up around the lantern room and some other areas. That needs to be rehabilitated. A lot of the floors in the at different levels are out of wood. They need to be upgraded and replaced. Plumbing, piping.
PVC?
Well, there'll be PVC now.
Yeah.
It was metal
Right, it was
before.
metal before.
Yeah, but then we've got we're going to do a sanitation system there that is compliant with the standards of today. I mean, it's not.
Do you have an outhouse out there right now?
We haul it back.
You have
That's what we got to do. Yep.
died.
Yeah.
Well, we will make sure we don't have to use the restroom.
Yeah. Well, before it went out to the ocean, that's
Right,
like
okay.
that's what everybody did.
That's right.
But even though we're far enough out that we might be able to get by with it, we are being proactive about
Cool.
being environmentally sensitive.
So you think about $20 million. And congratulations on getting together with Doc Bellardi, who then introduced you to Mike Barr. Amazing how you can get this thing needs to get a grant.
Well, that's thanks to you.
Well,
So
you need this Preservation Society really truly needs to be funded and in great ways because
And
it's
kept
so
for
unique.
the future,
Yeah,
right?
kept for the future.
Yeah.
Right.
So tell us what is going on in a few weeks.
Yeah, hell yeah.
well,
us
in
the
a few
scoop.
weeks, we're going to drag the two of you out there to see the lighthouse.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah.
We've got a video company that they do YouTube videos. They're coming out and spending a week out there to create a film.
Whoa,
A week. And while they're out there, we're going to be out there doing some work. And it's going to give us an opportunity to finish emptying out junk that we want to remove off the building and so forth, and also hauling out things that we need to start a rehabilitation. And then on the weekend following the work party, they'll be there from the 22nd of February to the 27th, the 28th and 29th, or 28th and the 1st of March. We are having a tour out there for 2 days. Wow. And we've got it mostly
Pretty much booked.
pretty much booked, but we've added a couple flights. So if anyone is interested, call area code 707-293-1905, and we can give you the information about the tour, and then take your money.
And helicopter tours are on Saturday, February 28th and Sunday, March 1st, 2026, coming up in a few weeks. And I see the prices dropped. Well, a couple of years ago when you did it, it was $495, right?
It was, I think, $410, if I
So
recall.
now-
I have to look.
I think it was $490. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
$495.
We had actually the video company has been very generous about getting us out there to start with.
Cool.
And so part of the transportation is going to be taken care of. Now, once we got to go back, we just got to bring everybody back. But at that price, we ought to break even.
Right on. Well, this
very
is such a
nice.
cool
So
thing. So
cool.
that's right,
Yeah.
$395 per person to be flown out
So
on a
is-
helicopter tour.
What is that movie YouTube thing going to be? It's not a romance. Is it a documentary about?
No, it's not a documentary. I think it's got a little bit of a thriller aspect to it, but he hasn't really explained it to me, and I haven't asked. I'm just so darn glad to get out there to get some work done. And, I mean, he can do whatever he wants,
Right.
Very cool. That is
but-
so exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it was right out of the blue. So, we've had such a hard time finding a helicopter that
Right.
really checked all the boxes,
Yeah,
and this one
right.
does.
Yeah.
In fact, the gentleman that's going to be hauling us out, he goes to all the different lighthouses in Alaska that are very in obscure places.
Oh.
We're very fortunate to find this guy.
Cool. Yeah, that's been one of your things that you've had trouble in the past,
Right.
being somebody that's up and up. Hey, listen, you could reach out to them by email, stgeorgereeflight@gmail.com. It's long, but it's stgeorgereeflight@gmail.com. Tell us about this raffle. What's going on with the raffle?
Well, we are doing a 50-50 raffle, and what that means is we're going to sell 100 tickets at $100 a piece, and then when we sell all 100 tickets, we pull a name, and they get half of the take.
Wow.
Because we hope they donate it back to us.
Right.
No,
that would
I
be,
mean,
that would be
full,
the nice thing.
Full
That would be-
disclosure, we want it all.
Right. We win.
But you are entitled to half, which means that's $5,000. Now, if you want to donate it back to us, we'd be so grateful.
Yeah,
Ah,
there we go. That should
Very
be the
cool.
way
Now,
to-
where do the people get a hold of the raffle thing?
Well, you can call the number 707-273-1905,
273.
or there is a place in Crescent City. It's it's called Your Salon. It's at 118 West Washington Boulevard.
Your salon, like
That's
why
right.
You are okay.
And Dawn Harper is the proprietor, and she will have tickets there
Okay.
tomorrow because I'm taking them to her.
Cool.
We'll have tickets there to sell.
Cool. Website. You got your own website, stgeorgereeflight.org.
Yes.
Okay.
And
same-
Facebook, St. George Reef Lighthouse
Same thing?
Preservation Society.
Same thing.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. I'm scolding you.
All right. Okay.
John Zimmerman, it's been
Thank
a pleasure
you.
talking to you,
So
catching up.
interesting. Can't wait.
Can't wait. And hey, we are looking forward to good news. Next time we have you on the show, I hope it's going to share a lot of good news. You guys deserve a grant like no one else. It's a great thing. Hopefully good things
You've
happen.
been extremely generous allowing me to come on to talk about our lighthouse. And we are going to allow you to fly back and not swim back.
Right. We have talked to a bunch of fishermen who say it's the best fishing out there around that island.
Yeah, well, if you jumped in and swam back, you'd be the best fishing for the local seals. So,
The seals will get you. That's what I
yeah,
heard the
you'd
other
be a
day.
little snacky poo.
Really?
Okay, what orca? I heard this.
Snacky
Orca.
boy.
Somebody else? No, somebody said the sea lions would get you. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And if they don't, the orcas will.
Oh my! He's looking at me like, huh?
So be nice to the
give it a
helicopter
try.
operator.
All right, now it's thank you, John, again for that interesting. Stick around for the next 15 minutes or so while we have a fun topic that Dr. Gigi and I have enjoyed researching, and then you will be invited to stay and chime in on your own thoughts about today's food. FOOD.
Haven't missed many meals.
Let's talk about what we eat collectively, uniquely, nationally, internationally, regionally. Doctor, you are European, born and raised in German, right across the border from the French-German line.
Yeah, I
What-
researched some European dishes
Okay.
that were known.
hear
So the
about some.
first one that I found was coq au vin.
Well, that's French.
That's French. That was the French pronunciation
I
too.
speak French. My name is Jacques.
Coq au vin means rooster on wine.
Has
And it was what it is actually. So chicken, but really it was a rooster. Chicken slowly braised in red wine like Burgundy with mushrooms, onions, and bacon. And in France, it's often eaten with a baguette, which we of course call French bread, or with mashed potatoes.
Wow.
Yummy. I mean,
Okay.
we eat similar stuff, but
How about-
it really originates there.
How about Italy? What is there? What's known there?
In Italy,
Pizza?
yeah, pizza. So I've been to Italy, and at least 40 years ago or whenever. So I was all excited about their food, but what we eat as Italian food is not what they eat. They eat it to fill you up. So, for example, lasagna is mostly noodle dough with something in there, so you
Pasta.
fill up. But I want to talk about spaghetti carbonara, which is pasta with eggs, cured pork, and cheese. And actually, it's without cream. We totally love the creamy sauce. And originally, it doesn't contain any cream.
Now that I'm a
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Where you were talking about in Germany, was that right across from Alsace-Lorraine?
Yes.
Because that's where my great-grandfather was.
Yes, right there, exactly.
Okay.
Strasbourg is right 15
Strasbourg.
kilometers from
Hinglington.
Ingleton.
Hinglington.
That's near that
Little
castle.
village.
That's near that castle that we passed going up to the.
Was it?
Yeah. Right. Okay. Oops. Oh, my phone shut off now. I don't have my facts and figures. Okay. I get to talk about my travels have been all
Yeah.
through the south of us, in Mexico and Middle America, Central America, and South America. But in Mexico, they have the chapulines, which are grasshoppers. They toast them. They toast them or fry them. Actually, they're really good. They're like a snack. You could eat them in your hand. They season them as they bake them or roast them in a hot pan, and they season them, and they come out crispy. They're phenomenal. They really are good. They put them in tacos and other things, especially in the land, the region Osaka.
Oh,
So there we go. And then escamoles, those are the ant larvae that come out of the agave root.
Yeah.
All right. So escamoles there's some kind called Mexican caviar. But now they're a little bit weird because they're a little creamy and nutty, buttery flavor, but they kind of pop when you eat them. And
Have you had them?
I've had them. Yeah, I've had them.
And were they all
The
scrumptious?
grasshoppers are great because you could have the seasoning, barbecue or their
Hardly
own
any
seasoning.
calories, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Right? It's all
yeah.
chitin.
Okay, go on to how about Germany? What is Germany?
Germany, what, the internet thinks is worth mentioning is called Zwiebelrostbraten, which translated means onion roast. Which
Onion roast?
onion roast. It's beef roast topped with rich gravy and caramelized onions. I might add that this would be eaten with yummy, sweet, tangy red cabbage, yum yum, and boiled baby potatoes. So they only tell us about the meat, but you have to have the whole
Well,
meal.
hey, and okay,
And
more Germany.
in Spain, we know paella,
Yeah.
which is saffron rice
Paella.
cooked with seafood, chicken, and or rabbit, plus vegetables, which is cooked, and that's why I chose it, which is cooked as a one-dish food in a white shallow pan, which is also called paella.
Hey, John, would you like to have some humilis? Humilis are strong-tasting, aromatic insects eaten with lime and salt, and they're put into salsa. Yeah, so it's just...
Why? Why would I do that? Why would anybody do that?
What do you eat?
Food.
What is your,
Real food.
like,
Lobster.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Yeah,
Probably one of the best meals I ever had was in Nova Scotia. I went out to a restaurant and they had lobster. They put a bib around you and you give you a hammer and away you go.
gosh.
And
What?
butter.
Oh,
Nice,
and just
soft,
have...
melted.
Was it like all you can eat?
Well, I gave it a
ate them.
try. It was
Give
good.
you a hammer.
Yeah.
nice.
If I had a hammer,
If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning.
In
Yeah.
Austria, you guys, Austria has
Pretty good.
Wiener Schnitzel.
Wiener
The
Schnitzel, I thought that was German.
No, that's Vienna.
Deutschland.
Wiener Schnitzel is Vienna
Ah.
Schnitzel. It's breaded, fried veal or pork cutlet served with lemon pieces to be squeezed over the schnitzel and potatoes.
Gigi and I are mostly vegan. We have heavy vegetables. Because of that, I've lost a tremendous amount of weight.
Yeah,
And of course, I stopped drinking beer. So when you come down to our house, John, I'll drink water. You guys drink beer. I'll give you a ride home.
well, I'm not going to say no.
All right. How about coconut grubs? These are wonderful. They're big time in Central America.
You already had that?
Yeah, I never had coconut grubs. They were kind of gross. I didn't.
What?
They're the ones that come out of the palm the coconut tree, and they're kind of they
grubs,
bore,
like in
they
bear, like
bore
in
and lay their and
insects?
they're kind of gross. But they marinate them in citrus, lime to kind of cook it like ceviche. If you go down to South America, now this has been one of the gourmet meals that I've had multiple times, and that was in Bolivia, where my brother currently lives,
Hey, John.
in the highland city of La Paz, the highest city in the world, actually, with an airport up there, is Kai, which is sounds like guy, but Kai, C-U-I, and that's guinea pig, and it is served in Bolivia, Peru, Ecuador, and it's a whole roasted or fried. They deburr it, and they take all the fur off it. It's just a
That's nice.
Wait a minute. The good thing is this is even different. They often serve it with the head and teeth still visible. They have
my
sharp
gosh,
teeth. They have
okay.
sharp teeth. They roast it. It's considered a traditional Highland meat, but that's what made me a vegetarian. It tastes like chicken.
This show is taking a dive, man.
Okay, I'll go to Ireland then. So
Yeah.
Ireland has a breakfast roll, which is a crusty, deep fried roll stuffed with eggs, sausage, bacon, and other fry-up items. And isn't that something? Because this might be the meal most emulated by the American diet, right? The breakfast drinks.
Right.
Bacon,
Again, it's all
eggs, and-
meat-based, which some people I know, all are
and
vegan
eggs and
listeners
stuff.
and vegetarians.
And it's really
yuck.
from Ireland. Who would have thought?
Right. How about caldo de cardan? Caldo de cardan is served in Bolivia, and I have tried it. It's
Yeah?
quite good, and it is bull penis soup.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
It says it's made with the bull penis and the testicles. And it is, I believe, locally to boost strength and vitality. Michael Gorse has tried it too. I mean, we got a bunch of people. The caldo de cardan. You got to try that one day, John.
Okay, moving on to Sweden. Sweden has something. Michael Gorse is laughing. We can hear it. So that's pretty cool. Sweden makes something called köttbullar.
Köttbullar.
But we call it Swedish meatballs. They're small pan-fried meatballs served with gravy potatoes in lingonberry sauce. And so they really actually, Swedish meatballs come from Sweden.
Wow.
Cool.
Well, there's hormigas colonas. I'm not proficient in speaking that,
It
but that
sounds
literally
really-
translates from Colombia. It's from Colombia. That literally translate to big butt ants. And they eat these. They're leaf cutters. The leaf cutter ants are big,
Yeah, yeah.
and they take them. They take the queens. The queens are in a special. They take the queens and they toast it, and they eat them like peanuts, which has a slightly smoky kind of nutty taste. They kind of crunch.
Do you have them? Have you had
I have
the
not
big
tried
butt
those.
ants?
No, my brother John has said they're quite good. I believe him. Yeah.
I thought you were so normal.
What else do we have?
All right, from England, they eat a lot of meat pies. And actually, I lived in England, and so they talk about this minced meat pies. And I always thought it was like with mint, like the mint flavor. And I always thought this is really weird till I had one. Minced meat really means just small cut, like burger.
Right,
It's little
minced.
cut with gravy and vegetables. So it's
They use venison, too.
they do, yeah, whatever, yeah.
Have you eaten venison?
Yes, I have.
Do you like it?
Yes.
They're pretty good.
You know
Bambi
about-
killer.
I don't kill them. I just eat them.
Bambi killer. All right. Go ahead, Doc.
No, baby killer.
Well, he eats venison. He eats Bambi killer.
Venison is just
Bambi.
I don't kill Bambi. I eat Bambi.
Yeah.
all right.
Deer. Okay.
Make us laugh again.
Okay, on a stranded on a desert island, let's say like not deserted island, I'll put it like the St. George Reef House, and they're only going to serve you 3 different foods in the entire world. What are you going to order, John Zimmerman?
Corn on the cob.
Order.
But it has to have butter and salt, right?
Lots of butter, yes. Absolutely. And
Corn on the
pepper,
cob.
too.
Okay,
Corn
corn
on the cob. Filet.
filet mignon.
Filet mignon,
Okay.
yeah.
With butter.
Oh, yes. And then a nice Yukon potato with sour
Oh.
cream,
Oh,
This
and
is the German world.
onion, and
so that's what
little
you would
bacon
eat
bits.
every day, or is it just that's what you would take?
I'd
and then just
restrict
put
it
it
to a
on?
week.
How about you, Doc?
I think I would take bread,
Oh yeah,
like
another
black
German
bread
specialty.
with cheese.
Sour
We would when we'd have breakfast in Germany with her mother, her sweet 86-year-old mom.
She's 88.
Breach.
88.
Yeah, that's good too.
We would have not one, two, about 3 different varieties of bread. Oh, I loved it. Well, that's why I gained 20 pounds in drinking beer in Germany. That was not a good thing. I mean, how about sea urchins from Chile, but just a certain part of that sea urchins. How about the gonads? That's what they eat.
You're very gonad.
They eat them raw. They sell them as a street snack and in restaurants. So I think I'm done with. I mean, we could talk about the maripano, which is in Argentina, which is a hot dog where the sausage is like it's a blood sausage wrapped in cow intestines and then served in a hollow of bread, and it crunches a little bit when you eat it.
I like my European things a little better.
Me too.
think.
Okay, what other foods? You get 2. You get
Greece. Greece has moussaka.
wow.
Moussaka is baked layers of eggplant, ground meat, and a bechamel sauce.
Wow,
Very rich.
Bechamel.
Bechamel.
Do you know why the Greeks hate?
And it's like what we think of noodle-less lasagna.
Wow, cool. Do you know why the Greeks hate the dawn every morning? Why?
Why?
Because dawn is tough on Greece.
You were an Irishman goes on vacation?
Where?
A different bar.
Don't get me going on the bar jokes. Then.
Hey, we can start our fun
Time corner. Okay, well, I think we kind of made him sick.
Yeah,
Sean's been
we can move on.
He's been stomaching our conversation. But thank you for that dissertation on international food.
No,
Doctor.
please, thank you for your weird.
That was my
unknown
suggestion
to
again.
me.
Oh my goodness! Let me look up my jokes here. I got
Unknown foods.
okay.
Lobster.
Yeah.
Corn on the cob.
You only okay, and a potato. That was your 3. Yeah. I got away without saying, and I'm not going to say.
Bull penis?
Did I just hear? Did you hear that? Did you hear Michael Gorse say bull penis? I hope they didn't hear it, but they can hear it. That's
Okay.
good. All right.
I'm going to give a quote.
Okay.
I have to divert this a little.
That was great. You got it.
Poetry is a way of taking life by the throat. I have throat quotes.
Okay.
Poetry is the way of taking life by the throat.
That's pretty good.
Right?
Dr. Gigi says that I have a scary preoccupation with vengeance. We'll just have to see about that. Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
Oh, yes. Scientists have recently discovered that protons actually have mass. Yep, I didn't know they were Catholic. Scientists say the universe is made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons. I think they forgot to mention morons. Hey, I'm currently boycotting any company that sells items that I can't afford. Sean is just sitting here looking at me going, oh, okay. Okay, what else? Come on.
The throat is the road. Speech is its pilgrim. That's very...
Wait, say it again? Huh?
The throat is the road. Speech is
Wow.
its pilgrim. It's pretty deep, right?
That is too cool. Dr. Gigi told me that I better start watching my drinking. So now I drink in front of a mirror.
I think it's funny. I've heard it 5,000
I know.
times, but it's still funny.
Well, same as, hey, if you don't pay your exorcist, John, do you get repossessed? Are we about done?
Okay, food
I hope.
is food is not rational. Food is culture, habit, craving, and identity.
Nice. I
Right?
like it.
Totally
Hey, John,
agree.
there's a nudist camp going on in town next week. You should go if you've got nothing going on. He usually laughs, but not today.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
didn't
Doc.
pay enough.
I'm
Are we-
still shocked over what you have tried to eat.
It's true. I did try.
Okay, each of
Okay,
us,
where are
one
we?
quote, one joke.
done.
Soul food is our personal passport to the past. It's much more about heritage than it is about harmony.
Okay, we can just go. It's line 59, 459. Okay.
Quote, one more joke.
Oh, I don't have one.
Okay, one, let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Do you know what the leading cause of dry skin is?
What?
Towels.
Hey, everybody. Sorry about this fun show. We had fun. You have been listening to Doc and Jacques on KCIW 100.7 FM in Brookings, Oregon. We hope you enjoyed our show, irregardless, as much as we have, learning about the St. George Reef Lighthouse with John Zimmerman.
Right on. That is-
And about the different...
and about what foods that he loves. You got to try them, John. I'm telling you. When you come over, we'll try them out. Thanks. Peace and prosperity, everybody out there. Thanks again to Linda Bozak, who's out there listening. And of course, Michael Gors.
Great.
You got me, man. It's the first time ever anybody's interrupted by saying bull penis. Wow. Okay, man, we don't need to talk. Bye-bye.